Hey guys, what up? Bevan here. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for subscribing. Honestly, I wasn't even expecting that. So it's kind of interesting to see that I have an audience. I guess I'll be making more content. So got my first few viewer questions. I'm going to be answering one now, which is what kind of numbers am I seeing from Focal Point? Now, I'm going to assume you're talking about how much money am I making from Focal Point? And the answer is not a lot. I only have a handful of customers at this stage, but I'm actually happy with that. So why is that the case? Why am I happy with a small number of customers? Well, let me explain how I launched. And I kind of talked about this a little bit in the last video on launching on beta lists and so forth. But I'm just going to elaborate on the process of just building this app and getting users. So as I said, I launched on beta list right before the new year, and I got about 400 signups to the newsletter from that, which was more than I was expecting, but I think fairly close to average, maybe a bit above average for beta list. After that, emailed them about 9 or 10 days later, and eventually got about 200 signups from, well, about 100 plus from that list, and then various other people trickling in from, I'm not 100% sure for some of these users, but others have come from like a blog in Turkey, which randomly blogged about it, and just randomly trickling in as well. So I got the initial users, and the vast majority of those users completely they bounced, not literally, but I mean, figuratively speaking, they just went elsewhere. They forgot about it completely because they just didn't use they did not engage with the product enough. Now that's what I've been working on in the meantime. Like I've not been trying to get more customers since then because, I've dabbled with abs a little bit and I'll get into that in other videos, but my focus has been on refining the product, getting users better on-ramped, getting them engaged with the actual features, installing the extension and so forth, which has been, that's been all consuming basically. So yeah, I didn't really want any new customers. So the fact that anybody purchased Focal Point is amazing. If there had been one person that was willing to make that exchange, that could be enough. And so I'm happy with the number of customers I have, even though it pays zero basically, right? I'm not making a living off this. I do consulting on the side. And as a matter of fact, I'm probably going to start a whole company for consulting on the side because it pays the bills and it's a good way to make money. Specifically, I want to do an MVP company. Like, the whole idea of like Focal Point is focusing on your one goal and mine is Focal Point related, right? But to actually achieve that goal, you got to make money. And it's hard to do something like this without a steady stream of income. I mean, my lifestyle is very basic. Like I don't go out. I spend money on food. And that's my main expense. Like I have like zero social life. So I'm going to be talking about that in other videos too. Just the general lifestyle and things that you give up when you seriously pursue an entrepreneurial path. So this probably just has to do with my personality too. I mean, like at this stage in my life. Anyway, I'm going to get to that in another video. But what was I talking about? Let's see. Lost my train of thought. Users. Okay. Small number of users. That's okay. I'm at the stage now where users who are trickling in from God knows where are actually engaging more based on those iterations that I've done. So I'm ready to start getting more users now. How am I going to do that? I'm going to save that for another video. But yeah, I'm going to start shifting my focus. So it's basically, iterating in that way. Okay, I got enough users to see what they're doing. Let's see how I can make it better for them. Then get more users and continue. Just try to basically refine that as much as possible in stages. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. I don't have a lot of customers. If you're thinking about going into software, I would say if you want to make money, if you want to make a living, do not create a productivity app. I mean, the market is so just extremely crowded with productivity apps. Do not make a to-do list. Do not make a content management app. Do not make a project management thing. Whatever it is, unless you're going to differentiate it substantially from the existing things, which is hard to do. Like I think Focal Point is, it's different enough. It has kind of a cool idea behind it. But still, it's kind of a bad idea for making money, honestly. So, you know, I'm in it for the money, kind of. It honestly doesn't feel like I am, though. I mean, this is right up my alley in terms of things that I'm passionate about. Like, I love productivity. I literally made this for myself. The first 3 or 4 months, I wasn't sure if I was going to release it publicly. This is just a sort of a, what's the word I'm looking for here? It's a collection of the tools that are most useful for me. So, yeah. So even if I had no users, I'd still be working on it from time to time because it's useful for me. So if I were not passionate about this, there's no chance I'd be working on it. So I would not view this as a way to earn money if you're considering creating a productivity app. So stay in hardware or whatever. And if you want to make money in software, start a consultancy. You know, if you want to be an entrepreneur in software, you know, sell the axes and the picks to the miners on their way to the gold rush or whatever. I think that's a great way to do it. I know some people who've made everyone knows people who've made money doing various things. It just seems like your expected value of going that route is going to be a lot higher than starting an app, a productivity app of all things, right? So, so be smart. Don't do what I'm doing. And I'm going to cut this video off here. Hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you did. And check out Focal Point, focal.pt. Talk to you later.